many news has been flying around because of 2027 election, and for what happened in 2023. So many people have been bringing advice for P2B to go back to PDP and become deputy to Atiku so that they can form strong alliance. Others were saying that he should go to Kwankwaso. There is one other northern man they are bringing that P2B should go and become his deputy so that they will form strong alliance during 2027 presidential election. But P2B, speaking in an X space, highlighted so many important information which you are going to enjoy on this video. Now, during his speech, he made mention that they said he has 6 million votes during the past election, but he knows he has up to 10 million. In fact, that now he's about to start building grassroots structures, and these structures will be organized by the people, for the people, which will be very accessible, which is now going to make everybody to understand that it's not far from what he's preaching. And this will also help those who have left to return back and work with him, and to also let them know that he is a man of peace. He cannot be preaching for peace and be going for war. No, it doesn't happen. And his speech on this X space served as a reply to those who were advising him to go to other party and form alliance with other people. He's also telling them, hey, that he's still P2B, the man who the people love. The man whose love from the people is genuine. Because I still remember that he is the only candidate in 2023 election that came out and said that he doesn't give shishi. People accepted that. In fact, people gave their time, gave their money and their energy to support him. And his speech is also serving as a reply to Labour Party that they should better put their party in order, because so many people who love and support P2B doesn't care about the party he's coming from. So they should better put their party in order if they still want to retain him, or if not, P2B might still move to another party and he'll still get the support of the people. But let me not delay much of your time. Listen to what P2B said in the space and make sure you keep your comment rolling. Let's go there.
Where we are now, it is time to start talking on that structural issue, which we still want to do gradually. Because we now believe that we now have people who believe in this new Nigeria we're preaching, people who are ready to sacrifice for it, people who are ready to wait for it. We have now a reasonable number to start talking about it. So now is the time for a strong socio-political structure across the country, across the 30 states, one that includes not just hardcore obedience, but also over 6 to 10 million. Because I know while they said we got 6 million votes, I know we got up to 10 million. So all those who supported us, all those who voted for us, and millions of Nigerians who are now experiencing the outcome of board governance in the last couple of years, we need to engage them to join this movement. We will begin with a series of consultation in the coming days and weeks for birth of this structure of millions, several millions of Nigerians who are tired of status quo and want a birth of new Nigeria. In building this structure, we're going to be totally inclusive and democratic. The process will be transparent. We will consult with so many stakeholders as possible. We want the structure to be citizen-led, so it will be demand-led, not supply-led. Because people have always said to me, why don't you appoint this one? Why don't you do this? I say, no. We're a family. This family will come out with their own structure that they will all believe in and will all monitor and see that this thing. So in it, we've nominated a number of people. I've looked at a number of people, most of you who are in this space, like Madam Bolanle, Madam Aisha, Tomo, Anelo, Favor, Dam, and others that will join for us to start the consultation that is required. It's not going to be all of us that are doing a sacrificing for it. Getting people like Dr. Tanko, who is running around all over the place, and so many others, to join us in trying to build this structure that is required. The people local, the people overseas, and all that. Yesterday I was talking to Mazi and Elomba and everything, telling them this is where we want to go. And this is what we want to do in order to start building the required structure. Because people have always talked about structure. I say, wait. You will see that as we go by. But I'm not deterred, because I listened to the National Democratic Institute lecture. I mentioned it to people. It was wonderful that they talked about opposition and people losing the election. Former Prime Minister of Denmark, I think he's the foreign minister now, he's been Prime Minister 2 times, talked about what happens when you lose the election. What happens to the party? What happens to the people? That is when you really see people in the true sense. That is when you know those who can withstand the sacrifice that is required to be in opposition. And this is the case of where, in a world where nobody is harassing the opposition, in a world where nobody cares about the opposition, so you can imagine what is happening. The NATO secretary, former NATO secretary, who came after him, repeated the same thing of their experience in the UK when they lost the election as Tory party, how everything scattered. And he said it's beginning to happen to them again. He said, but most importantly, if the leader can hold on to what he believes in, with time, some disciples will turn back. Those who left will see reason, because especially when the government in office is not doing the right thing. So I thank all of you who are still here, and urge all of us, let's continue now. The result of this engagement will be formidable structure at national, regional, grassroots level, something that we can call our own as we approach the next cycles of election. The structure will enable us to field and support credible candidates at all levels of government who are committed to New Nigeria. Like Mo said, we're not at this stage talking about party. We're not talking about anything. I continue to tell people my belief that we will have party problems resolved. And whatever comes out, we'll all be together. This structure will enable us to ensure that integrity and competence, because we'll design a system that will only allow competent people with capacity and capability to be involved in what we are doing, managing the structure, and being supported in elective posts. So my invitation today is a call for action and cooperation as a team, as I've mandated those who have mentioned and those who will still join. It's a teamwork. It's not something that will close the door. It's a teamwork. We know all those who believe in what we're doing, and will continue to engage. We need you to help us to recommend people who are competent, capable, have the capacity and the time, people of integrity, to help us in this structure and help us do the right things. We can't preach one thing and do the other. You've seen where people will say, oh, Peter has not done this, he's not done this, he's not done this. What I tell them is that we can't preach peace and be declaring war. We cannot say we want to obey the law. Somebody today called me and said, oh, you sent out a tweet about somebody who is being harassed. Am I aware that he's putting on fake news? And I said to him, that is why we have law courts. When somebody accused me of fomenting problem, trying to lead a protest, which I didn't know about, I didn't call him names. I sought the rule of law, which I'm going to pursue in earnest. That's the way societies are built. Societies are not built by when people call you name, you go and start fighting them on the street, or kidnap them, or harass them. No, that's not the new Nigeria we're talking. The new Nigeria we're talking is where people can say to Peter, you're wrong, because he's a leader. Where people will talk to him and he will listen. Where people will share their ideas with him, because his job as a leader is to listen. His job is to learn. And then if you don't believe in what the person is saying, try to convince him. And when they have a better idea, please accept it and implement it. And that is why I like listening. After this introduction, the only thing I can do is to sit down, learn, take notes from you, and that's what I intend to do now.
What do you think about the End Bad Governance protesters and the ones that have been detained for 60 days and all the rest, and about PDOM and the other journalists? I already know you already spoke about the other journalists today. And lastly, what do you think about the future protests October? What do you think about all the protests, and what do you think can be done? What do you think is the right approach to tackle this particular government in power because of all the bad news we've been hearing from them and how they're not doing the right thing in office? So thank you. Those are my questions.
Well, mine is a very simple thing. I've always said it. It's citizens must always hold their government accountable. And when I talk about citizens, I talk about citizens. It's going to be everybody. It is not left for, say, Peter Obi, anybody to hold government accountable. I'm doing my own as much as I can. And I'm sure that no other opposition is doing what I'm doing in terms of being engaged, moving around and everything. That is why even when people say, oh, maybe he's this or he's this, I laugh because those who are saying it have invited at least 6 and say, I want you to go from where to here to me. More will recall when somebody said something and I said, we are going to Osun State tomorrow and I want you to join me. He said, when are we leaving? I said, we are leaving Lagos 4:35 a.m. He said, no, why don't we stay up to 10? Peter, is it not possible to do this? Before the man wake up, I was already in Osogbo. But when you're doing it, people who stay somewhere, probably eating shrimps and good food, are busy saying, oh, this man is not this. They forgot that I went to Biu in southern Borno. They forgot that I went to Katangu in southern Gombe and on, difficult places to campaign, and I still going all those places today. More will tell you, I left Kogi 7 p.m. not seen anywhere on the road to sleep. I mean, people insisted we sleep with them, and I said I'm going to Enugu. So when you do all that, all of us needs to engage them. It is not about me. It is about all of us collectively. If you look at what government is doing to the big and famous today in Nigeria, if you look at what they are doing to people who speak, just imagine what I'm going through. Just imagine it. So it's easier for people to go on and say, I comment on issues like you see me with. First thing I do when I get any news, like the one I did this morning, I was traveling in America. I didn't know. When I get any news, all I do is to take 24 hours to analyze what happened and what is happening, and I make comments. But I really make comments on anything, and I support all peaceful, legal protest, agitation. And when I was campaigning, I said it. I will talk with every protester, agitator, this. All I want you to do is say the reason why you're protesting. Tell us why you're agitating. Don't just say for the sake of it, there's about governance. No. If you see my tweet, I state the things where I don't just go. That's why I go and do the research, have the facts, have everything, so that when it is verified, people can see, even if it's somebody who made the statement, yes, I can now do so on another person's statement. And usually, those who come close to me will ask me, oh, this is this, this is this, this is this. And most of you who are on this space do that. You see that when they tell me, oh, you haven't commented on this, you haven't commented on this, I'm looking into it and I will eventually comment and send them back and say I've commented on it. But thank you. I urge you to continue. If there's any place I'm not doing well, please correct me. People are talking about attack and everything. Just imagine what people are getting so you can imagine what I go through. But I assure you of my commitment, and I want you to be similarly committed. There's no alternative to this journey. If we see one, we'll acknowledge.
You get the point now. So what do you think about this grassroots structure? And how do you think this grassroots structure is going to unite people more going forward? Share your thoughts with me on the comment section. And you know the vibe now. Click on that subscribe button, follow, and share for more updates. Because like this, we move.